Hey guys, well, I decided to make a video today. The reason why is I haven't made videos in a while. And I've been thinking about my life a lot, where I am today in my life. And I'm doing well, alive and well. Where am I? Taking care of my kids, working hard to build a good future for my family, and also creating good content for you guys. Now, I met so many good people on YouTube and on the internet. It amazes me the people that I met, and I'm very blessed for that. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, the reason why I do this video today is because obviously I look back on my life a lot and I think about all the friends I lost. The reason why I got this picture, the Dead End Kids, because when I was a kid growing up, I used to love to watch the Dead End Kids. They were one of my favorites. They were so funny with James Cagney in Angels with Dirty Faces when they're playing with the basketball and they're beating up the other team and stuff like that. It reminds me of me when I was a kid growing up. That's what we used to do, things like that. But in my headline, I have Paulie G, Tommy Reynolds, and Fabrizio Defransici, all my friends that I grew up with. Now, in the book to come, you'll be reading about it, how everything went down, my childhood, who became my friends first, who became my friends at the end, and things like that. Now, everything with me is I speak the truth. And I'll always do that because the truth will always stand in anyone's life. A lie, once you create one lie, you got to create another. And I don't deal with that. And I always keep good people in my life. But looking back on my life, I remember a time when I was 14, 15 years old. And I remember Georgie Conti telling me, you kids grew up very fast. I was walking the track with him in McKean. You kids grew up very fast. At the age of 14, 15 years old, we were doing cocaine, smoking pot, selling drugs, had pot spots. So, and I look at my daughter at the age of 14, God forbid, So we were all destined, carved in concrete, our destinies. Whether Tommy Reynolds went to prison, Fabrizio went to prison, I went to prison 14 years of my life. It just, the story has to be told. It's a story of young kids growing up without direction in a neighborhood suffocated with the mob at that time. They controlled the neighborhood. And I drive down Bath Avenue every so often here and there. And of course, the neighborhood changed. I remember my neighborhood with Nick's Candy Store, all the social clubs, a couple fruit stores, Joe fruit stores across the street, Max's on 17th Avenue and Bath. And at that time, growing up, when I was a kid, I would go shoplifting and grab some food because we didn't have no money. That's how it starts. My father was in Manhattan. My mother, lived in Brooklyn. My mom and dad separated. I was about 7, 8 years old. But Fabrizio was a good kid growing up. He got into this a little later as far as the crime scene. Don't get me wrong, he was in the street. Just the wild men in my bunch of friends was Reynolds, Calco, Paulie G, me, a few other guys. Little Georgie Adamo, he was a wild bunch. Polio, he was a good kid. He really didn't know too much about the life growing up, especially our neighborhood when he moved over from Bay 50 around that area. I just want to wish all my friends, the ones that are alive today, Tommy Reynolds, you know, I was very tight with Tommy Reynolds growing up. You know, I was the guy that would always pick up Reynolds, pick up Joey Calco. Of course, they were outcast at one time. You know, when Reynolds shot Hamster, Reynolds went on the land for a little while. He got it strained out, of course. But you always got to watch in that neighborhood. You know, you got to watch your back all the time. If you don't watch your back, eventually you're going to get hurt or you get killed. You always got to be alert, for sure. Growing up at that time, 14 years old, you know, I didn't know who I was. I'll tell you the truth. I didn't know who I was until maybe I was about 29 years old when I had my back against the wall and I did some prison time. And I said to myself, I said, you know what? I really want to be here the rest of my life. I want to do something productive. I want to do something positive. And I don't want to waste my life. You know, at the age of 39, I had my daughter. And that set me straight. I knew what I had to do. And when I first came home, I had it pretty hard. I didn't have it easy, I'll tell you. You know, I had a couple of dollars saved, maybe 30,000, 35,000. My father left me 30,000. So, and that money goes quick. You know, you get a vehicle, you get a nice apartment, some furniture, maybe a piece of jewelry. You want to feel good about yourself and things like that. But I'm a thinker. That's what I do. I think a lot. And looking back on YouTube, I want to come back on here and I want to give you guys really good stories growing up, family stories, redemption stories, stories about when I used to sit in my mother's living room with these Christian, godly people, and they have the Bibles open and they'd be saying prayers and scriptures. And me and my friends be sitting down. Some of them be laughing underneath their breath. And we'd be waiting for all the food at the end of the meeting, the teaching, you know. And then my mother would speak in tongues. And we would all look and say, wow, what was that? You know. But speaking in tongues is speaking to God in a certain language. He understands it. And when I was a kid, I used to do that too. You know, it's you know, look, when you do something when you're young, there's certain things in your life you're gonna regret. I regret a lot of things, absolutely a lot, and there's no turning back. Time goes on, and you can't turn back. You know, it's like you can never be young again. You know, like I tell my kids, enjoy your youth. You know, it's great to be young. Getting old, you know, it's good to get old. Sucks to get old. Good to get old. Got to go to doctors every so often, things like that. But you know, I feel good about myself. But you know, get into Tommy Reynolds. Okay, this is a kid I grew up with. Uh, I would never think ever in my lifetime, seriously, uh, you know, killing one of my friends. It wasn't me. I was never like that. See, Paulie G wanted to get made. He wanted to be a wise guy. I didn't want that. He always said, Jimmy, once I get made, then you'll get made and things like that. Then when I got older and I was in prison, I got tight with Mike DeSantis, tight with a lot of wise guys. And, you know, they're talking about me, Jimmy, you know, what do you want to do? You know, what do you want to do yourself? You know, you want to be made and stuff like that. And I used to say, you know what? I'm not sure, things like that. But I probably would have got strained out a long time ago. I just really didn't push it. I really didn't want it. Then when I came home, I realized, you know what? In that life, you need it where I come from because it's like a protection. It's a badge. Nobody could touch you. You know, you belong to somewhere. You belong to a family. You know, it's about respect, honor, things like that. But that might be a bunch of bullshit too. But again, getting back to Reynolds, you know, this is a kid I grew up with. obviously, he killed Paulie G with Joey Calco. And in that life, your best friend is your competition. That's 100%. And I look back, and if I wasn't in prison, Sparrow, Joe Benanti, they might have gave me the hit. Joe Benanti might have said, Jim, you know what? This has to be done. But thank God it wasn't me. Okay. I could only say, Joey Calco killed Paulie G. Of course, Reynolds is there. But me and Reynolds was always tight. When I got arrested, Reynolds said, Jimmy, Paulie G was a scumbag. Now, I look back on certain things. I give everyone a fair shake, and I call a spade a spade. Paulie G made a lot of mistakes, absolutely. Uh, his ego definitely ran off with him sometimes. I had some arguments with him at times where I wouldn't come around for a couple of days. And then I go see Joe Benanti. I go say hello to Joe Benanti. I'd be driving around with Joe Benanti, and Joe Benanti be saying, Jimmy, where were you? Were you doing hiding underneath the bed? And I knew Joe Benanti, sometimes he would pick my mind about Paulie G. There's a lot of things Joe Benanti didn't like about Paulie G. But I was the type of guy, I would always like to do scores. I would always like to have fun. Anyone who hung out with me always had fun. They loved to hang out with me because I was like the joke of the crew, always having fun. But I want to wish Tommy Reynolds the best in life. Okay. My wish for you is to someday have a close relationship with the people you love. I got 2 daughters. I know you have a daughter. And I hope you have that relationship with your daughter. And I look at the time you did. And you did a lot of time, You're a stand-up guy for sure, 100%. You're a stand-up guy in that life. In that life, you're a stand-up guy, Not stand-up guy as far as killing a friend, but you're a stand-up guy in that life. You'll have that reputation the rest of your life. Fabrizio too, you fell into this life, and you weren't really deep into it like me, Reynolds, Calco, Paulie G. Later on, you fell into it when I was away, and they put you on that hit with Hamster and all that. But you're a wise guy now. There's a lot of things in your life you now have to deal with. You have to report to somebody someday. You're going to have scrutiny. You're going to have the law looking on you and things like that. It's a lifestyle, in all honesty. I'm very thankful and gracious and blessed that I walked away from it at that time. And it was the right time to walk away from it. I just got out of prison. I did 6 years in prison. I was home 11 months. And I said, you know what? Enough is enough of this. And thank God I made that decision, because today I'm my own man. I don't report to nobody. Okay. I have friends that are legitimate people. I put legitimate people around me. Anyone who knows me, they know exactly who I am and my character. So the people who don't know me and say things about me, those are things in your head that you have to live with, not that I have to live with, because I know who I am, and everyone around me knows who I am. And Fabrizio, I wish him the best. Paulie G, a lot of memories with all you guys. And in my book, I'm going to talk positive about everybody. That's the way I want it to be. I want it to be a story of life, redemption, family, growing up as kids, wise guys who turned us against each other. And eventually the outcome was death, prison, cooperation, and separation of each other. So I'm wishing you all blessings. Tommy Reynolds, as you're sitting doing time, I'm sure you did a lot of writing. It's good to write. I do a lot of writing. And hopefully someday me and you, maybe we can sit down and have a conversation with each other. You want to do it on YouTube, we can do that. Whatever it is. I'm here to help anybody, and I have no more hatred towards anybody. I'm working on myself and becoming a better person. I'm a father of 2. I want a good future for my children. I want a future for myself. And anyone that's in my company, I want them to do well, including me. So, listen, life is short. You got to make the best of it and just keep on going. You fall down, you get back up. But I got some scripts that I wrote, 2 nice scripts. Anybody who's interested, reach out to me. I would like to collaborate with other people on YouTube. If you're interested, reach out to me. Of course, it's going to be on my channel. I'm going to start doing more videos. And I'm going to come back out there a couple days a week, do some lives. And to all my friends out there, I love you guys. Thank you for sticking by me. Always being there, reaching out, sending me emails, the good messages, the kindness people have shown me. And thank you. I appreciate to all the good people I met on here. Thank you so much. I love you all. I'll be back soon doing a live show one day this week, and I'll keep you updated on my progress with my book. To everyone out there, again, I love you. God bless. Stay well. Stay blessed. And let's get together soon. With that said, everyone have a great day. And let's leave off with a good video. I love you guys. Bye, guys. The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.